Good day. I'm Milton Schoen. I'm the Director of Hennepin County Veterans Service, and welcome to America Salutes. Today's program is going to deal with the issue of veterans and child support and why it is to the advantage of a veteran to take initiative to modify child support obligations if their income is changed. And today we have two very special guests. Lisa Brown from Hennepin County Child Support. Welcome, Lisa.
Thanks for having me.
And Sarah Sommerstrom from the Vet Law Director for the Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans.
Thank you, Milt.
So why don't the two of you say why it's important for people to adjust or attempt to adjust their obligation rather than just letting it go?
Letting it go never results in a smaller child support award. I work for the Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans, which has been serving homeless and at-risk veterans in Minnesota for over 22 years now. And as the lawyer on board, I get a lot of questions from veterans, both recently returned and Vietnam era and older, about unpaid child support awards. And oftentimes what happens is life situations change, people lose jobs, become disabled, and the original order is no longer reflective of what their ability to pay is. And those just keep going up. And so it's the veteran's obligation to tell the child support office when there's a change in circumstance so that the award can be changed to reflect their ability to pay.
Very good. Do you have anything
Yeah,
to add,
I'd
Lisa?
like to just comment that the process of requesting a modification of a child support isn't a fast process. It can take somewhere between 4 to 6 months in order for the change to take effect. So anytime there's a substantial change in the circumstances, it's very important to address it timely because the length of the time it takes for the process to take effect can be approximately 4 to 6 months. So if you wait 4 to 6 months after the change to even initiate modifying the order, you're looking at about 1 year.
Very good. Well, I think we should move along and get, we've got a number of resources and some slides that we want to make the public aware of. And the first one is the location of Hennepin County Child Support Services, which is located in the Family Justice Center in downtown Minneapolis at 110 South 4th Street. And this is where people go to deal with their child support issues.
Correct.
Very good. And if a person wanted to find out where their case was assigned to, there is a website, www.childsupport.dhs.state.mn.us, that one can access. And I think you were telling me that you need to have a 4-digit PIN number to be able to access that.
That's correct. And if you don't know what your 4-digit PIN number is, then you would need to call and you can request that. They're not given out over the phone. They need to be mailed out just because of data security.
And if I was a veteran and I wanted to get some more information about child support, there's an online publication that's available at www.dhs.state.mn.us that is entitled Changing Your Minnesota Child Support Order.
There is, and we have a copy that's here. It's very, very informative. We have copies in our office if people want to come in and pick one up, or they can look online and download it and view it there. But it gives really tons of information on the request for a review process as well as the pro se process and child support services in general.
Very good. Well, you mentioned the pro se process, and that is a process where one need not have to hire an attorney, as I understand it?
That's correct, and Sarah can probably elaborate on that process.
Sure.
Pro se just means self-represented. So a pro se process would be a process in which the individual or their family could access the legal system without hiring an attorney to represent them. And MACV runs legal clinics that are held at the VA Medical Center every other month on the second Tuesday of the month, where we assist veterans with all sorts of legal issues, but child support is one of the ones we see most commonly. And we have free attorneys who are able to give consultations, and we're able to help with some of the paperwork that's necessary to file a modification and provide some follow-up services.
Very good. And I also understand that there are some workshops that are held by Hennepin County at the Family Justice Center to help people with child support. And I think we've got a slide on that also.
Correct. So those are also held right there at the Family Justice Center on the first floor. I provided you with the dates, the times that they do those presentations. It's very important to bring the information that's asked for on the slides, and it's very important to be there at 10 o'clock sharp. That's when the workshops begin. And I also provided you with a website where a person can watch a video on how the pro se process works to assist them with the forms, as well as a link as to where a person can obtain the forms and download them.
Very good. Sarah, I understand that you conduct legal clinics for the Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans that assist veterans with child support issues.
Yep, we have a team of about 40 volunteers that gathers every other month. The next clinic is November 13th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the VA Medical Center. I believe my phone number is available. If people have any questions, they're welcome to call me and ask those questions, and I can try to provide some information over the phone. But the clinics are the best way to access our resources. It's completely free of charge to veterans. We're able to analyze the case. One of the things we see pretty frequently is that veterans have cases that may involve more than one state, which is incredibly complex to navigate on your own. And what we're able to do with the help of people like Lisa, who come to our clinics, is really talk to the other state and help them navigate that process and straighten out where their obligations lie and how we can get that to a point where they can remedy, the arrearages or the past due payments and modify the payments moving forward so it's something they're able to pay.
And you conduct these legal clinics at the VA Medical Center in Minneapolis?
Yes, they're at the Flag Atrium. We also run clinics in other parts of the state, but for the Hennepin County area, they're almost all at the VA Medical Center.
Very good. How many people attend these clinics?
Our highest attendance to date was at a clinic in July where we saw over 100 veterans in about a 5-hour period, but we consistently see between 80 and 100 veterans.
And one of the reasons it's so important to change a child support obligation is, as I understand it, you cannot go back and change an award. You can only do it going forward. So if somebody's income has changed, if they let it sit for 10 years, whatever they owed, they would have that obligation for those 10 years.
It does make it a lot harder. You do not have a right to go back and change the already established child support amounts, even the arrearages. But in many cases, we're able to work with the child support office and the veteran to explain the situation. So if you are behind, certainly we're still an option for you, and there is some ability to get a positive outcome, even if you are behind and haven't paid or adjusted your child support in 10 or 15 years. It's unfortunate, but many of the veterans we see have children that are my age or older, much older than 18, and they're dealing with past payments that were due but never paid.
And added fees and charges, I
added
suppose.
Fees and charges. It never goes down if you ignore it. That's a steadfast rule you can
bank on.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Lisa, does Hennepin County try to work with individuals to modify their child support obligations? I suspect you've got a rather large caseload, largest in the state.
Yes, we do. We're one of the largest counties in the state, and we've done numerous things to make ourselves visible and friendly and open to the families that we serve. We collaborate with the MACV to do the clinics for the veterans. We do client information presentations out in the community with community partners that might serve veterans and other families. We do a lot of PR work to advertise that we're family friendly, meaning both parents and the children. It's very important that the child support obligations are set based on what the current financial situation is. Nobody does well when you have an order that's charging for more than an obligor has the ability to pay. So it benefits everyone. Our office, the families, the veterans, the obligors, to have a fair order charging with the amount that someone has the ability to pay.
And if I'm listening right, we deal with many veterans who return from Iraq and Afghanistan, and the last thing in the world they want to deal with is paperwork and bureaucracies and details. And what I'm hearing is it is to the advantage of a veteran to make sure that you deal with these issues, because if you don't, you and let them go for several years, you can't.
They don't go away.
They don't go away.
They don't go away. Child support obligations don't stop automatically when a child emancipates at 18. Once there's an arrears on there, the current charging might stop, but the arrears and the collections on the arrears are still in place until that obligation is paid, or it's modified or reduced in some form. So it's very, very important. The child support office in and of itself can't change the child support order. It's up to the parties that own the order, which would be the custodial parent and the non-custodial parent, or the obligee and the obligor. So whoever's circumstances change is the person that's best getting in there and requesting either a review and bringing that to our attention, or starting a pro se motion, or hiring an attorney to address it. But we definitely do not go away.
Right. Well, I know your boss, Barry Bloomgren, has done a great deal of effort to reach out to people to make sure that obligations are just not forgotten, but they're dealt with, and to make people understand a system that, frankly, most people don't have a clue about. And I'm sure you see that, Sarah.
Yes, well, we're actually lucky in the Twin Cities to be part of a pilot project that's a collaboration of the American Bar Association, the VA, and the Office of Child Support Enforcement. So we're one of 12 pilot sites around the country that are helping veterans reduce and remove child support obligations and become compliant. And there are many penalties that can occur if you are not compliant with your child support, including loss of driver's license and even incarceration in some cases. And so we are a site that has been piloted to create a system of clinics and programs to be able to help these veterans. Child support is the largest unmet need of homeless veterans in the United States. And so it's an issue that is important in all communities, and we're lucky to have the collaboration and the partners to be able to do some pretty good work here.
Very good.
I agree.
Child support is done individually by counties, and is it your experience that all counties are relatively equal in how they deal with the issues, or are some counties a little bit more user-friendly in trying to make adjustments to child support?
I'll take that one to spare Lisa's professional friendships. I think it depends on where you're working. It does take a lot of phone calls. It takes a lot of talking with child support workers and the folks who have access to those records. And a lot of our veteran population is pretty mobile, so they may have traveled around to multiple counties or even multiple states. And so oftentimes it can be difficult for them to find a person on the other end of the line who's willing to listen to their story and help them. And we can certainly help make those connections at our clinics.
Very good. Do you find that when people go through the process, that, Lisa, that you find at the end, when there's been some adjustment made, that they are satisfied with the process?
Oh, definitely. I think for especially some of the veterans that we've worked with during this ABA project, where we've had successful outcomes, and it does take time. It takes a lot of time to work through these, but many of these men and women have been walking around with the stress level and for years, and feeling like there was no light at the end of the tunnel, and that no one was willing to work with them. I have received lots of positive comments from the veterans that attend the ABA clinic, that being the voice of child support and realizing that I'm not a bad guy, and that I'm there doing what I can to support this and get the word out and help in the process. And it's been a great experience.
Very good. As we finish up here in about the last half minute or so, is there one thought that you want to leave us with, Sarah?
I would urge all veterans and family members of veterans who have issues related to child support, whether it's payment or collection, to call their child support office. And if they're not comfortable doing that, call our office, and we can set you up with the next clinic and opportunity to be able to work with a volunteer attorney and help you through this process. Very good. Lisa?
I would agree 100% with that. Don't ignore it, and it's not going to go away. And give Sarah's office a call, our office a call. Hennepin County's Self-Help has their office. We provided that number. There's definitely resources out there to help resolve the situation. Very good. And for anyone who has issues beyond child support that needs to file for veterans benefits in Hennepin County, I would encourage them to call our office at 612-348-3300.
So I want to thank both of you for the information that you provided our viewers, and hopefully we will have people who put this to use and modify their child support orders. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you.